Yeah, Tim, Jen, it is muddy, it is wet here, but families have still been gathering all day today. In fact, there is a line to get over here by the baseball field right now. What they're all looking at is what you see just beyond those trees right there. That's the actual wreckage from this derailment. Yeah, Tim, those students tell me this really impacted them, and their teachers tell me it is so important for these students to learn about this genocide and remember it today. I'm standing here on Main Street, and this is how difficult it is to cross the street right now in Coalport. The problem is it's continuing to rush down the hillside directly across the street into local businesses and homes. Yeah, Jen, I've actually been trying to use one of these little hand warmers. No match for these temperatures. I really don't have to tell you how cold it is outside, because as soon as you open your door, it really does hit you like a brick wall. Not only painfully cold, but dangerously cold out there today, which is why many community shelters. Yeah, Marty, if you were lucky enough to get your hands, or I guess your eyes, on a pair of these glasses today, you might be tempted to keep them for the next solar eclipse coming up in 2024. But astronomers and library organizers say that's not such a great idea for two reasons. First, by the time they get there, often the dogs have frostbite, and that's even if they survive the cold. And take a look at me. I mean, I'm wearing a big winter coat out here just trying to stay warm, but Humane Society police say dogs usually don't have that option to bundle up, and they say just because the dogs have fur does not mean it keeps them warm enough for their health. And just minutes ago, they did recover the suspect, 26-year-old Cody Lynn Bush. They say he is dead and appears to have shot himself. The district class is canceled. No parents and students here, but some were at the Upper Yoder Township Police Department today. Police say they've questioned a number of families today, but no one has been arrested. They say they do have a person of interest, though, and right now they're waiting for Twitter to release court-ordered information. They say a Twitter subscriber sent the threat to a school district account, and right now they're looking for proof of who the owner of that account actually is, since a Twitter handle can be anything, really. It doesn't have to be your name. Twitter has confirmed they have received this order and told police they are evaluating it. In the meantime, police say they're following other leads as more names have come up throughout the day. Still a very active and ongoing investigation, and still no word on when classes will resume in Westmont Hilltop School District, but stay with us as we work to find out more. Live in Westmont, Katie O'Toole, 6 News. That's right, and those guys have been here since 6 o'clock in the morning doing that cooking. They've been selling the sandwiches since 11 o'clock. Cleanup continues after flooding swept through parts of western Pennsylvania this week. One of those areas hit hardest was Coalport and Clearfield County. That's where Daniel Hamburg was today, while fire crews, neighbors, and the Red Cross helped clean up. It's that time of year. Families are here at Walmart shopping for Christmas presents for their kids, but if you have a big family, it can be difficult to pay for it all at once. Kristen Martin says she knows that Christmas time struggle all too well.
Because, when bills were really high, for December, I had like an $800 water bill. So it was just like, well, I'm going to go and put stuff on layaway and hope for the best.
She says she knew a Secret Santa paid off everybody's layaway at Walmart last year. She figured this year, maybe, just maybe, he'd do it again. This week he did. Barbara Carnes has worked at Walmart for 20 years. She says she's never seen generosity and humility like this.
In this area, you don't hear a lot. I mean, you hear small things where somebody pays somebody's grocery bill or things like that, but this was pretty big.
The Walmart staff has been making calls to families with things on layaway, letting them know these gifts are paid off. The Martin family was one of those calls.
I couldn't wait to get to Walmart. I was just like driving and shaking. Look at me, I'm like shaking. It's crazy.
She says the kids can now get their toys and their clothes, but she says the parents get even more.
It's more to me. But I think they'll be happy, I think kids for Christmas. I remember when I was growing up for Christmas, and I was just telling my mom the other day, I want my kids to have Christmas like that.
Nobody knows who this secret donor is, not even the Walmart staff. They just call him Santa B.
He sends his helper that contacts our store management team and asks the layaway balance, give them the balance, and the check is either overnighted to us or dropped off here at the store.
They have lots of treasures in heaven for being so giving.
Families can still pick up their orders right here at the layaway counter for the next couple of days. Santa B donated a total of $40,000. In Everett, Katie O'Toole, 6 News. I spoke to him one-on-one about his plans for both the nation and cities like this one.
Johnstown's suffered gravely with the cuts between manufacturing and steel and all of the things that have happened. And there's a huge, natural gas is hugely under pressure now from EPA, and you're losing a lot of jobs. But we're going to bring them all back. We're bringing the miners back, we're bringing the energy industry back, and we're going to bring steel back.
Adam loved to get into everything. He was daring and adventurous, and he just was your typical, 14-month-old kid.
Until June 5th, a day that's difficult for Mom and Dad to relive.
So it was a typical day. Like he said, we were kind of coming and going. We have a large family. And the door was open and closing a bunch, so we didn't think anything of it.
The family of 7 was getting ready for a softball game and turned their backs for just a moment.
And yeah, he just slipped out. It was truly what people call an accident.
Everyone quickly realized he was gone.
I thought he was in the tent. I went to the tent, and that's when I knew he wasn't there, and I looked up and I could see him in the pool. He was floating face down. They worked on him for 45 minutes. And it wasn't until the priest came in and baptized him and anointed his forehead that the heartbeat came back on the monitor.
They say Adam's now their miracle baby, but he still suffers.
Are you okay?
And they say he'll probably never be the same.
But of course it is an adjustment. When you come home, you see all the things that he had, his bike, just small things. You see that, and it hurts.
They say he has improved, though, with experimental hyperbaric treatments, all the way in Louisiana, very expensive and not covered by insurance. They'd also like to give Adam a chamber to get treatment right at home in Duncansville. Dad says they're looking at tens of thousands.
Those are all things that we would want to do in this year. It's not something that we do this year and it goes away, so.
Their friends and family are raising money this weekend to help offset these costs. But the whirlwind of the last few months have left them with one reminder for other parents.
It takes a second. It literally takes a second.
Katie O'Toole, 6 News. With lots of yelling and tears, parents told the school board Thursday 12-year-old Wyatt Lansbury's death was on them. They say faculty and staff don't do enough to prevent or stop bullying.
What are you going to do about it? You wanted these positions, own them.
Here's some of the things Superintendent Dr. Priatel says the school district already has in place.
We do training the first day of school regarding bullying and unlawful harassment with our faculty. Our faculty is trained on threat assessments. And we're a member of the Blair County Suicide Prevention Task Force. We're actively involved with that. We have counselors who share information with faculty and staff.
The list goes on, but bullying still happens.
There's something wrong with our team.
At the meeting, parents asked questions like, why can't I know how my child's bully has been punished? Dr. Priatel says the district is legally not allowed to say. People are still minors before they're 18.
That's not how this works. All these children have a right to privacy, and it's part of being a child. So we just can't offer that information up because we're legally bound not to.
Another question parents had, why is the district looking to Attorney Jocelyn Kramer to go over policies rather than the parents themselves?
It's going to remove a lot of the emotions from it because she's looking at it through the lens of, okay, this is what we need to do. Here's our problem. Now, how do we solve this problem legally? How do we do this within the bounds and protect the rights of everyone involved? And it's a careful balance.
The district's next conference with Kramer is Thursday, exactly 2 weeks after Wyatt Lansbury's death. Katie O'Toole, 6 News.